Economic and Financial Crimes Commission detains NACON chairman, recovers 314,098 Saudi Riyal. Police arrest 2 for stealing station signpost in Kano. Nigeria's inflation rate drops for the first time in 19 months at 33.40% in July. On the foreign scene, Nigeria, Equatorial Guinea sign agreement on Gulf of Guinea gas pipeline. Hello and welcome to Trust TV's news update. I am Chiamaka Nwafo. Now, the Executive Chairman of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NACON, Jalal Arabi, and the Commission Secretary, Abdullahi Kontogora, are in the custody of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, over allegations of mismanaging the 90 billion naira 2024 Hajj subsidy. The Punch reported on Wednesday, documents obtained by the EFCC revealed that Arabi and other top officials fraudulently overpaid themselves from the subsidy, leading to the recovery of 314,098 Saudi Riyal. The investigation also showed that Arabi received 50,000 Saudi Riyal, far above his entitled 15,929 Saudi Riyal, while other officials were similarly overpaid. Additionally, 8.6 million Saudi Riyal cash withdrawals from the subsidy funds remain unaccounted for. The anti-graft agency is also investigating payments made to staff for study tours that were never conducted and to a consulting firm for unrendered services, with evidence of backdated approvals and fraudulent transactions. Arabi, who was previously interrogated on July 29 and released on bail, was again taken in for questioning on Wednesday as investigations continue. The Kano State Police Command has arrested 2 suspects linked to the theft of a signpost from the Bachirawa police station in a local government area in the state. The theft, captured in a viral video during this violent escalation of the #EndBadGovernance protest, showed one suspect dragging the stolen signpost, prompting widespread condemnation. The initially peaceful protest turned violent, resulting in the 5 individuals being shot during the confrontation with police. The arrests were confirmed by SP Abdullahi Kiyawa, the Kano State Police Command spokesperson, who noted that the suspects were apprehended with help from local residents. Kiyawa, in a statement posted on Facebook, praised the community for their cooperation, including the installation of a new signpost at the police station. The police have expressed gratitude to the Bachirawa residents for their support and reiterated their commitment to justice and maintaining peace. The suspects are expected to face charges in court as investigations continue. Gunmen believed to be kidnappers on Thursday morning stormed the residence of an NG Cares program official in Angwanmei Matasa axis of Lafia local government area of Nasarawa State, killing Hassan Yahaya Egwa. The kidnappers, who invaded the personal residence of the deceased, situated around protest quarters in Lafia, came in their numbers and started shooting sporadically into the air to scare residents of the area before carrying out their nefarious act. A family source who pleaded anonymity said the unfortunate incident occurred on Wednesday night when many other residents had retired to their beds. He added that the deceased did not get any assistance from security personnel, a situation that led to his murder. The report is coming after the Nasarawa State House of Assembly raised the alarm over the high rate of kidnappings in communities across the 13 local government areas of the state. Confirming the incident, the Police Public Relations Officer of the state, DSP Ramhan Nansel, said the Commissioner of Police, Umar Shehu Nadada, had already visited the deceased family to ascertain the circumstances that led to the killing and ordered full investigation into the incident, adding that nobody has been arrested so far in connection to the murder. Still in security, the Nigerian Army says it has successfully eliminated 2 terrorists, arrested an armed criminal suspect, and seized arms and ammunition in preemptive operations conducted by the troops. In a statement on its social media handle, the Army said on 14 August 2024, troops acting on credible intelligence on terrorist activities carried out an ambush along Kwana Uri village in Giwa local government area of Kaduna State. It said the troops recovered 1 AK-47 rifle, 288 rounds of RG-55 ammunition, 40 rounds of CJ-95 ammunition, 6 rounds of 7.62 mm special ammunition, a Boafeng communications radio, and a motorcycle, according to the statement. The suspect was found to legitimately possess a fabricated automatic rifle. In Katsina State, the police command on Wednesday said it has foiled the kidnapping attempt at Yanshantuma village in the Musa local government area and rescued 7 victims. The spokesman of the command, ASP Abubakar Sadiq Aliyu, disclosed this in a statement issued in the state on Wednesday. He said a distress call was received at the Dan Musa Divisional Police Headquarters that some suspected bandits attacked the village. Sadiq Aliyu said that the DPO quickly mobilized a search and rescue team to the scene where the surrounding bushes were vigorously combed. According to him, 4 occupants of the abandoned vehicle were successfully rescued following a fierce gun duel with the suspected kidnappers and rushed to the hospital for medical attention. Efforts have been intensified to arrest the fleeing bandits as the investigation proceeds. Commending the efforts of the operatives, the Commissioner of Police in the state urged them to sustain the tempo. The police spokesman called on residents to keep providing the command and other security agencies with crucial and timely information on criminal activities. Now, the Minister of State for Defense, Bello Matawali, says the Armed Forces of Nigeria requires 200 million rounds of ammunition annually for its operations. He said the volume will cost the federal government at least $2 per ammunition. The minister disclosed this in Abuja on Wednesday at the sign of a memorandum of understanding between the Ministry of Defense through the Defense Industries Corporations of Nigeria and the National Agency for Science and Engineering on the establishment of an ammunition production factory in Nigeria. He blamed past governments for the nation's failure to achieve self-sufficiency in the production of military hardware. Matawali assured Nigerians that the Defense Industries Corporation will in the next 3 years export its military capabilities through local manufacturing of military hardware. Bayelsa State is facing a prolonged blackout as the Transmission Company of Nigeria revealed the vandalism of 13 transmission towers along the Awada-Yenugwa 132 kV double circuit line. According to a statement from TCN's General Manager Public Affairs, Ndidimba, the outage will also affect some communities in Rivers State. During an inspection led by the General Manager of the Port Harcourt Transmission Region, Emmanuel Akbar, it was discovered that 9 towers had collapsed, with 4 others on the verge of collapsing. The vandalism was first reported by the Ukpeli Community Youth President on August 12, 2024. TCN's Managing Director, Sule Abdulaziz, described the incident as a national disaster, calling on the Rivers and Bayelsa State governments to help address the escalating vandalism of critical power infrastructure. This comes as TCN is still working to restore towers previously vandalized in July. Still staying with power-related stories, here in Abuja, households are grappling with higher electricity bills following a system upgrade by the Abuja Electricity Distribution Company, NDDC. Now, this reflects a nationwide trend as the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission announced a 40% tariff hike in July for Band A users who typically receive 20 hours of power daily. Despite the upgrades, many households report steeper costs. In this report, Noel Sampson speaks to FCT residents about their reactions to the soaring electricity tariffs. The report.
FCT residents shared their thoughts on the rising electricity costs, expressing how the tariff hike has impacted their daily lives. Many spoke of adjusting their lifestyles, cutting down on electricity usage, and adopting new habits to cope with the increased expenses.
2,000, you go realize 3 days, 4 days, but now if you put 2,000, you no go reach 2 days, man, say you don't finish. If you say you want to do bus pass, what they do, they go charge us 200,000, 100,000. You don't have to that time. We do bus pass. Now they can't check. They say and they charge us 200,000. We can't they pay.
1K fee do like 1 week, 4 days, 5 days. But now even 10K self, you know, if you do 1 week again. So we don't fit continue like this. Electricity don't cost now. I know if you buy, I know if you charge my laptop. Even for Emma don't cost. I know if you on use the laptop too.
Not really. Even as the book I can't be as if it was safe. If not compared to like before, the way the light, now the lights. You know, imagine us staying in Abuja City compared to like before. you can boast in Abuja City that they will have lights compared to other places like mostly south. But now the light itself, sometimes they will call the carry light around 7. Normal, at least, even it's a shame. This is 21st century we done this. So Nigeria as a country is supposed to boast of at least 24 hours of light. But when we go to the country, we cannot even get 24 hours of light, and we are still paying for that light. Generator now they advertise Mekano, every form of generator. Sometimes I don't even wonder if, as if our government itself now then they in charge of this generator of 18. If not, it's a shame. Small country like Ghana here, Nigeria here, they can boast of light more than us. But they shout giant of Africa. What's the use of being giant of Africa?
The electricity which I was supposed to be recharging 2,000, you have to serve me before. Even I put till to I cannot use it into some hours. The thing went off because the high rate of the tariff was very high. So I could no longer use electricity. Even my cookers, I can no longer use them. And now I'm using charcoal to be able to meet up because I use the electricity before I know it will run down. Even when we are trying to say we are hungry, we are trying to protest that time, it's part of what we are saying. Bring the high cost of things down so that we can live. We don't care what you are doing as a rock.
According to these residents, the tariff hikes haven't resulted in improved electricity distribution. Instead, they claim the steep increases have fueled more corruption without any noticeable enhancement in power supply. They are urging the central government to intervene and address the situation. Noel Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Governor Bala Mohammed of Bauchi State has swallowed his recent comment on Tinubu's policies and programs credited to him during the recent #EndBadGovernance nationwide hunger protest in the state. The governor stated this on Thursday in Bauchi during a court visit by the Minister of Works, David Umahi, to ascertain the level of destruction caused by the recent flood in the state. Bala said he has no intention to malign anybody, but has so much respect for the president and the federal government as a whole. Speaking earlier, the Minister of Works, David Umahi, told the governor that the visit to the state was to commiserate with the people of Bauchi over the recent flood which ravaged many communities in the northern part of the state. The minister added that they are working hard to ensure that Nigerians are taken out of the present economic hardship across the country.
You cannot blame Mr. President for not blaming yourself as a governor, or you as a minister, or even the parliament, because it is all about leadership. And I'm happy with the kind of inclusion that Mr. President is doing to recognize our leadership contribution to M&E and inspection, because roads are meant to serve. The President has taken quite defined and courageous decisions, but it may not be very much clear to the citizens, especially those who are not deeply exposed. And when you have somebody that is sick, the first thing you do is to give a first aid, and then begin to do tests to find out the problems. But the good thing is that the president, the Democrat, knows everything about the situation of the country.
Still in Bauchi, the Emirate Council has stripped Senator Shehu Umar Buba of his traditional title of Majindandi Bauchi for allegedly disrespecting and humiliating Governor Bala Mohammed. Buba had recently criticized the Bauchi State Governor for blaming President Bola Tinubu for the current economic hardship in the country, which led to the recent #EndBadGovernance protest. The Emirates Council's decision was contained in a letter dated August 14, 2024, and addressed to Senator Buba and signed by Nasiru Musa on behalf of its secretary, saying the withdrawal of the traditional title from the senator followed the meeting of the council on Wednesday chaired by the Emir of Bauchi. The Emirate Council explained that the meeting deliberated on the senator's alleged misdemeanor and consequently resolved to derobe him as a traditional title holder of the Emirate. The council specifically accused Senator Umar of disrespecting and humiliating the Bauchi State Governor. Actions, it said, were at variance with the teachings and culture of Bauchi Emirate. Buba, who had accused Governor Mohammed of being responsible for the poverty, hunger and anger in Bauchi State, also alleged that the governor shortchanged the people by not distributing the 70 trucks of Guinea corn, 70 trucks of fertilizer and 20 trucks of rice donated by the federal government. This is a news update on Trust TV. Still to come. World Health Organization declares Mpox a global public health emergency. More stories when we return. Please do stay with us. Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. Now a recap of our top stories. We told you that Economic and Financial Crimes Commission detains Norcon chairman, recovers 314,098 Saudi riyal. We also informed you that police arrest 2 for stealing station signpost in Kano. Two more stories. The chairman of the House of Representatives Committee investigating crude oil theft has attributed much of the problem in the Niger Delta to the mismanagement of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC. During a session with NDDC leadership, lawmakers stressed the need for the commission to step up its efforts in addressing oil theft and revenue losses in the oil and gas sector. Here's the report.
Crude oil theft remains a major threat to Nigeria's economy, heavily reliant on oil revenue. Despite efforts to combat it, over 4.3 trillion naira worth of crude oil was stolen between 2017 and 2020, according to the Nigerian Extractive Industry Transparency Initiative, NETI. This ongoing crisis continues to raise alarms as the nation grapples with the economic impact of such massive losses.
This road that you are talking about, do you know that I can tell you how long it took NDDC to build that road? Do you know how long it took NDDC to build that road? I know the time frame that took NDDC to build that road you are talking about. 16 years, my brother. 16 years. Building 28-kilometer road. Whether it was you are making or not, is that the right thing to do?
Engaging key stakeholders to address the severity of crude oil theft, some lawmakers pointed to the lack of access to petroleum products for riverine communities and the mismanagement of the Niger Delta Development Commission as contributing factors to the ongoing crisis. They emphasized the need for lasting solutions to curb the criminal act and protect Nigeria's vital oil resources.
I'm sorry, I'm encroaching probably into the duties of the standing committee of the NDDC. But we must have to, as a committee, be able to explore the remote and the immediate causes of oil theft. I would not hesitate to tell you that the NDDC, the fallacies and shortfalls of the NDDC's statutory performance as an organization is contributing significantly to the problem of oil theft. If you guys can do the right thing, you take these boys off the street. The huge amount of money that is being made available to the agency, 13% derivative, the 3% cost of production, so many other things accrued to that.
Whatever crude you took from my backyard, refined in Europe, stops in Port Harcourt. It doesn't get to Bonny, it doesn't get to Krika, it doesn't get to Bukuma. That was the reason the NMPCL, lofty ideas, fantastic initiative, introduced the floating jetty. Those floating filling stations rather, to make PMS available for those communities. Now they don't have products in the past 10 years.
In response, the NDDC claims that its programs and projects within the Niger Delta region over time have helped efforts to mitigate oil theft.
If you want to even travel to Nembe, you have to get to Yanagua and travel the same distance. So we have been able, by reason of that single road, been able to provide security, to intervene in any oil theft in that axis.
An economy like our own, which is largely till today depending on oil as a major subsidy, major base for our economic functions and even for financing public services and infrastructure, cannot continue with this kind of serious challenge in the oil and gas sector.
On its part, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, AFCC, says it has convicted several individuals on oil theft and illegal dealings and noted the lack of transparency in the community compensations and the implementation of best practices by companies. The anti-graft agency, expressing worry about bottlenecks in curbing oil theft, called for the establishment of a specialized court to enable speedy prosecution.
We've also seen inadequate implementation of international best practices. It's one thing to say that this is what we do. The other thing, of course, is it being implemented by various agencies or various stakeholders?
So there are cases that, oil theft cases that have gone on for over 10 years, some much longer than that, and then sometimes again, from the court of first instance, you see it running to appeal and then court of appeal and then to Supreme Court, So this also affects a lot in conclusion of the cases.
Other agencies like the Nigerian Maritime Administration and safety agencies that were also present at the investigative hearing revealed to lawmakers that it has not been carried along with crude oil dealings in the country.
Still staying with crude oil theft, National Oil Company, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, said it has uncovered and confiscated products from 63 illegal refineries in the past week. A documentary by the company on Wednesday said in the past week, 19 illegal pipeline connections and 63 illegal refineries were uncovered in the Niger Delta. The company announced the development amidst fresh concerns over the delay in the commencement of operations by the Port Harcourt refinery as earlier announced. The Port Harcourt Refining Company, a refinery under the management of the company in Rivers State, had again failed to commence operations after about 6 postponements. The Federal Ministry of Petroleum Resources and NNPCL had promised to get the refinery up and running this month. However, no sign of the facility kickstarting crude oil refining just as yet, as the month drags to an end. In health stories, the World Health Organization has declared the mpox outbreaks in Congo and elsewhere in Africa a global emergency, with cases confirmed among children and adults in more than a dozen countries and a new form of the virus spreading. Few vaccine doses are available on the continent. Earlier this week, the Africa Centers for Disease Control and Prevention announced that the mpox outbreaks were a public health emergency with more than 500 deaths and called for international help to stop the virus's spread. The Africa CDC previously said that mpox, also known as monkeypox, has been detected in 13 countries this year, and that more than 96% of all cases and deaths are in Congo. Cases are up 160% and deaths are up 19% compared with the same period last year. So far, there have been more than 14,000 cases and 524 people have died. In business, Nigeria's inflation figure recorded its first decline in 19 months, dropping to 33.40% in the month of July. A report by the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, stated that the drop, when compared to the 34.19% recorded in June, was 0.8 percent points. On a year-on-year basis, the headline inflation rate was 9.32 percent points higher compared to the rate recorded in July of 2023, which was 24.08%. This shows that the year-on-year basis headline inflation rate increased in July 2024 compared to the same month in the preceding year. It added that on a month-on-month basis, the headline inflation rate in July 2024 was 2.28%, which was 0.03% lower than the rate recorded in June of 2024, which was 2.31%. It went on to state that food inflation rate also reduced to 39.53% when compared to the 40% in June of 2024. Away from Nigeria, President Bola Tinubu and Equatorial Guinea President Teodoro Obasanjo on Wednesday evening in Malabo signed an agreement on the Gulf of Guinea pipeline project, further affirming the partnership for mutual development. This has occurred into a Thursday statement by presidential spokesman Ajuri Ngelale. He said the agreement covered legislative and regulatory measures for the gas pipeline, establishment and operation, transit of natural gas, ownership of the gas pipeline, and general principles. In his remarks at the event, President Tinubu, who is on a 3-day offshore visit to Equatorial Guinea, said the signing of the agreement will open up new opportunities for gas exploration and employment. The president stated that the two leaders have discussed issues related to the creation of employment, food security, multilateral relations, and conflict resolution mechanisms on the continent during a private meeting that preceded the signing of the agreement. President Tinubu said the discussion with the president of Equatorial Guinea also covered challenges of security, the African Continental Free Trade Area, and food security. In his remarks, the president of Equatorial Guinea said bilateral relations with Nigeria over many years have been rewarding and emphasized the need to deepen cooperation across salient areas. That's it for news update at this time. For more of our news programs and documentaries, follow us on our social media platform and our YouTube live stream. I am Chamaka Nwafo. See you at the top of the hour. Bye for now.